June 22nd, 6 o'clock, we'll call the meeting to order. Will you join me for the flag salute?
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We have a quorum. We're going to excuse ourselves for an executive session, RCW 42.30.110F, to receive and evaluate complaints or charges brought against a public officer or employee. However, upon the request of such officer or employee, a public hearing or a meeting open to the public shall be conducted upon such complaint or charge. And to discuss with legal counsel representing the agency matters relating to agency enforcement actions, or to discuss with legal counsel representing the agency litigation or potential litigation to which the agency, the governing body, or a member acting in an official capacity is or is likely to become a party when public knowledge regarding the discussion is likely to result in adverse legal or financial consequences to the agency. 6:01, we will be gone for approximately 10 minutes. We're back from an executive session and it is 6:16. There were no decisions made. At this time, I'd like to ask for an approval of the agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
All in favor? Any opposed? Agenda passes. Department reports. City Clerk Maureen Crabtree will give her a second to catch up.
Someone from the public asked me to go over the website and how you sign up for alerts. So anytime we make any changes to the website. Is there anyone in the audience who would like me to sign up with your email?
Would someone like to, Kathy Chastain?
So you're gonna search for Notify Me. It's a feature in the website. It's built in. We don't have control over it. Or I mean, it's a feature of the website. So the easiest way to do it is to search it in the search bar in the website, and it is the the first option when the search comes up. So, Kathy, what would you like to be subscribed to?
Perhaps like the agenda notifications, since I do share those for you.
Okay.
It's KL
Hang on. Do you want email or text message?
text.
Okay.
Oh no, don't break my phone number down. I don't want calls.
How about we I could put my city cell phone in, and then that way it's, oh, that one's still in.
You can put it in. I don't
Okay.
care. It's fine.
Okay. What is your email though, Kathy?
KL Chastain, CHASTAIN at Yahoo.
At Yahoo?
Correct.
Does that look right?
Yeah, looks good.
Okay. Oh, do you want to make a password?
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
Change it later.
What's that?
Change it later.
Just,
Yeah, do you want to write it on a sticky note and then?
Just do $1, 2, 3, 4, $5 sign, and I'll change it.
Okay. Okay.
Probably won't let that happen. Do Winlock 26. Hashtag.
we'll start on it.
Oh, is that what it is? I got my email.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Oh, yeah. Oh, right here. Reset password. Is that what you want me to do?
Yeah.
I'll take, voice of devices. I'll take
Here, we'll just, I'll just do.
Let's see if I can do it from mine. Let me see if I can do it from the city clerk email address. That'll be easier.
I'll try to speak up. We had a citywide alert from the water department this week, and it would have been nice if more people had been on the website to get that.
We had a citywide water alert this week, and it would have been nice for more residents to have been able to get that alert to help Rodney isolate some leaks. Right, Rodney?
Exactly right.
So I'll do it. I'll do my city email address.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you sign into the website and you can create a login through the Notify Me. But you have to subscribe to the website. Your email has to be in the website before you can get started. And then you click the envelope on the city council. And then you have to confirm your email. So just a second. Oh, technology. In the sake of getting out of here, okay.
Maybe you can do a little special video with Johnny and share it on
Okay. So it's after you confirm your email, you want to get, you'll get an email that after you confirm your email, then you have to finish the subscription, and you can come. You want to click this, and then you go. Yep. And then you can put your phone number in and save. And that is how you subscribe to the website. And then I also have, this is for council, we got a notice from our insurance that there are several things that we need to address here in the building and at the water sewer plant. We're having a staff meeting, department head meeting tomorrow morning to go over how we need to do it, but it does seem like we're gonna have to spend a little bit of money to fix these. And the inspection that identified these deficiencies was sometime last summer. I would have to look at my email to remember for sure.
Some of these are pretty easy to take care of, in-house. But yeah, definitely, can we get somebody out to get, some estimates for, our electrical panels and stuff? This is a common thing in this whole area. I mean, we've all got these electrical panels, like almost every house in this town has some, the older style. So yeah, if we can get that looked at least get us some bids, where we're going on this.
And then we've had 3 bids for the AC. The first bid is not on the rosters list. So we've had 3 people come and look at it. One of the people who we called is not on the rosters list, so we've gone with 2 other people who are on the rosters list. It is not going to be a cheap fix to get air conditioning. And then, just for for council's information, the bond was purchased, and so I have the email documentation that it's all been executed.
Good evening, members of the council, city staff, and members of the public. I have heard several people say that this was the best egg days in recent memory. The weather was beautiful, our community was welcoming, and Winlock truly threw open its doors to visitors and residents alike. Thank you to the many volunteers who contributed their time, the staff members who worked extra hard to make the event successful, and especially Public Works and Water Sewer crew who flagged and kept everyone safe with the police department. With everything else on their plate, Kenny still found time to clean up and rehabilitate several older benches around town, and they are looking great. Our Water Sewer Advisory Committee recently met and toured the wastewater treatment plant with Rodney. It was a good opportunity for committee members to gain a better understanding of the infrastructure that serves our community and the challenges and opportunities ahead. I would like to mention that the PUD substation will be holding its grand opening tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Members of the public are welcome to attend. Finally, you'll notice several informational items included in your council packet. These items are provided to keep everyone informed and do not require action tonight. The budget status report as of June 17, I think Jeremy will go over that. Information regarding bond renewal and information regarding the street striping work that Lewis County will be performing for the city of Winlock, along with the 5-year interlocal agreement that makes that work possible. Thank you. Council.
I need a few minutes. Pardon me, but this is long.
Do you want
No, I can talk pretty loud when I need to. Winlock had a fantastic celebration last weekend, and as chair of Egg Days, and on behalf of the committee, I'd like to take this time to thank some very important players who, without their involvement, this weekend would not have gone anywhere near as smoothly as it did. I'd like to thank the city of Winlock as a whole, including Mayor Marenson, our police department, fire department, public works department, water and sewer department, and to Maureen Crabtree for helping in the absolute insanity of vendors set up and check in. The folks from St. Paul's Lutheran Church for the making of the mini egg salad sandwiches, Riley Camps for helping with the storage of eggs and the production of said sandwiches, Brittany Warren's family and friends for cleaning up the elementary school rounds, Mr. Johnny H., when we asked for people to jump in and help, he asked us how high, Cassie Allen at the school district office for helping to get the needed keys for the school and the grounds, Cindy Stevenson for her custodial supply help and always her availability, Mason Lippincott, Salin Gartenberger, Monty Williams, Gabe Toms, and Joseph Montes for being overnight security for vendors. They were leaving early for a short time to go have dinner at Monty's house. They were being very sarcastic and fun with me, including your son. It was in a fun way. I turned around and looked at him. I said, if you're not nice, I'm going to tell your dad. He's like, well, you don't know. I said, he goes, wait, maybe you do know who my dad is. Turned around and walked away. They went to go have dinner at Monty's house, and when I drove past the school after coronation to make sure they'd made it back, they were all playing at the toys on the elementary school playground, and I thought that was really awesome. My son Matthew for always helping me. I'm being totally transparent when I say that I could not do this without his help. He has a servant's heart just like his overextended and crazy mom. Jason Cochise, WHS band teacher, for getting our band back in the parade. I think that he's going to build a fabulous music program at WHS. He's just getting started and it looks incredibly promising. These last few things may not be in order, but my brain is still recovering and I did my best. Last, but for me, the most important, an enormous debt of gratitude and thanks for Micah Feist owner of Legacy Landscaping and Property Services. He allowed the use of a side-by-side to use for vendor placement and on Friday and Saturday. He has also offered to help annually with whatever needs the committee might have. As long as he's got the means to do so, he's gonna help. I think he and his awesome family are a wonderful addition to our community. On a side note, I got to meet some of his kids and they're pretty awesome too. To understand how much the use of the side-by-side helped me, let me explain how vendor setup works. I greet and check in each vendor. I tell my son who drives the side-by-side what their place number is, and he shows them where the number is and helps to transport the vendor and their merchandise to their number. In the meantime, there are more vendors that are waiting, so I wind up walking the vendor to their place. And if they don't need help, they set up, but if they do, they wait for my son to come help them. If he is busy again, I walk them to their place. This happens over and over and over again until everyone has their spot. On Friday, I walked 3.39 miles, and on Saturday I walked 4.63 miles, and that's with having a side-by-side. If it hadn't been for Brittany and her cleanup crew, it easily would have been between 5 and 7 miles a day, and even still today, I wouldn't be able to move. Having my own golf cart, side-by-side, even a power chair when my feet start to fail me would be ideal. Hint, hint to anyone out there. I was seriously considering giving up on my vendor goddess position. It's a lot to do. And it's hard on my old body and arthritic feet and other joints. We really do need more volunteers, and I need a vehicle of some type to be able to keep doing this. Except for Maureen's help this year, if my son and I that have done this ourselves for the past 10 years, it wouldn't get done. The only reason I'm not going to quit is this. Most of my vendors return year after year, and relationships have been built. I don't want to leave them hanging. I love this community that I've helped to build, and I think I'm pretty darn good at it. It's important to me that my vendors do well, and I take it very seriously, so I'm not going anywhere. I just really need some wheels. This community also showed up in full force, and that was a great thing to see. Again, many thanks to everyone that had a hand in helping to make Egg Days happen. One more thing. The first prize winner of the Lions Club Flower Barrels is Carol Wallin. There was a 4-way tie for second and a tie for third. It has been put back out as to who's going to take second, and then if the numbers are right, we'll automatically have a third, but if not, we'll do this again and put it out there. And that's it. Thank you, everybody.
Yay, Jody.
I just, on the heels of that, we had such a wonderful egg day here, but we also have a family that had deep tragedy, and so I just wanted to, there's hashtag, Aaliyah Strong. She's still in a coma. We've lost members of this community and several members of this community.
There's several out there.
Yeah.
This community is strong. We come together when we need to. I know you guys are strong. We've got young members of our community that are in serious need. Please help.
Yeah.
Well,
So
and
there's
we
lots of avenues you can go on the
Right.
Vermont Forum, and I just wanted to bring that up, just to, I know it's a busy weekend, but just
It
to
is.
kind of bring everyone
Yep,
back.
there's a lot of tragedy. It's hard. It's hard for me. And I'm always the bad guy. And our kids need us. So, all right?
And Alicia and I were talking before the meeting. We saw what a turnout we had. We saw how this community came together, no matter the skin color, the age, your religion, your political beliefs. We acted as one. And if we could do that every day, imagine what we can accomplish.
Budget report?
I don't, because I don't even know how much I'm going to talk about it. It's confusing me, and it's making my head hurt. I don't, how is the library negative?
It's a credit. It is, it's, I don't know why it's a negative, but it's $9,600. Still have, the problem is we got more money than we anticipate. And so our budget, I've asked this several times, it's the excise taxes, right, that are coming in? And the use taxes.
So we
Mhm.
discuss it later.
All right. Public comments, we have no public comments, zero? Would someone online like to speak? Unmute yourself. Okay. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I'll make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Consent agenda passes. Agenda item number 12, water and sewer update. Rodney.
How's it going, guys?
And you guys like did a remodel in here. Huh? So I wanted to go over this contract a little bit. I'm gonna try to glance through it, but I wanted to throw it out. Just as you are all aware, Exeter has 135 acre feet approved. That's gonna come to the city. We've been haggling for a couple years now, trying to navigate this in and get it in and how they're gonna use it, because it's a seasonal right, which means they can only use it a certain amount of time during the year. And so we had to, make sure the city was covered and it wasn't gonna cause a problem. We had to come up with an arrangement. So this is the final draft after going back and forth between our water rights attorney and their attorney. So this is kind of where we landed.
It looked good.
If anybody have any questions that pop out as you go, and then I'll quickly go through some of the key points.
When are they going to start breaking ground on getting some of their stuff checked out?
So here's when they sign this agreement and they shoot it back to us, they're going to then start working on the production of the well and the infrastructure to get the water tower in and all that. And the reason they're doing that is so that when they get a business on the hook, they don't have to wait another year and a half.
That's why I asked, because if they're trying to do it this year, which is what it sounds like,
Yeah.
they're planning on breaking ground this year, so.
I'm gonna say they're not. But they do.
Potentially.
Yeah, but they do have,
So that gives us a year before they potentially have something in out there,
yeah,
to at least on the hook to break ground.
yeah.
Probably by next year.
And the big thing with Exeter, and this is that they're a good company to haggle with, but they haggle like I do, so it gives me a headache. Because they want to use every piece of water they can, and then we need to make sure that it's done in such a way that we're not in a deficit. So what I'll do is I'll kind of give you the gist of it. They got their 135 acre feet. We're gonna come up with they're gonna have to build a well, a reservoir, and then give that to the city. And what we're going to do is we're going to, well, let's go through it a little bit slower than that. So when you go through the recitals, it kind of outlines what their obligations are. And they're gonna pay for the new well. But when we get down to the agreement, so if you guys want to check that out, I'll just quickly paraphrase these. The deal is, once they sign it, they're gonna execute this in an expeditiously manner, try to get it done. They're gonna follow the staff report, they're gonna work on the building of the well. They've already contacted the engineer to do this, so they're gonna make that happen, and they're gonna move in a timely manner. And because, like I say, we'll go to number 2. So once they get the well system in, they gotta get all the approvals, they gotta pay for it, it's all on their dime. And they gotta surrender it to the city. and then we'll manage it.
I got a question. How big a well is it?
We're trying for 200 to 200 or more per minute. Yeah. So that's what we're shooting for. But you know, once you punch into the ground, you never know what you're going to get. It could be that site's not good, and we have to try to find a location. So that's kind of where we're at on that. So number 3, we're going to file all the applications, and we're going to change the existing rights to the 505 well to the new Mickelson well, and then vice versa. And the reason we do that is so we can use the water at both locations. And because 505 is a year-round well, we'll be able to utilize the water from their water right year-round accordingly. Versus if it was just linked to the well out there, we'd have to physically shut the well off.
Well, we get more out of the 505.
And you get 200 gallons a minute out of the
We're
505.
only getting 70.
No, we're punching about 160 gallons a minute out of that. But they're required to pay for everything. That's the key thing. We don't have to pay for nothing. Number 4, we're going to make water available to them only in regards to normal toilets and sinks until they satisfy the first 3 items, which is building the well, putting in the infrastructure, and getting all that done. Once they do that, they'll be able to tap into their 65 acre feet that we're going to lock for them. But if they don't, let's say a business wanted to come in right now, they're locked into a low type building, and they can't use any more water than that. So that's not in their best interest, because they have some water users, they want to have access to more of their water.
So to put it people into perspective, how much is Cardinal use?
Cardinal uses 135 acre feet a year.
So roughly half.
Yeah.
So just to help kind of put it in perspective. Just like,
Yeah.
Cardinal uses a lot of water.
And the Cardinals getting ready to, they've returned 79 acre feet, they're getting ready to, we have water right applications for more water. Has anybody got any questions on number 4? Number 5, self-explanatory, they pay for everything. So it's all up to them. They're going to work through our consultants in order to do the application process, the ecology, and all that kind of stuff that goes with it. You know, anything that has to do with getting that into the city coffers. Now they've already done the water rights, so that's done. So it's just a matter of building the well, putting it in the system, a lot of regulations, Department of Health regulates ecology, so there's lots of things they got to think about. It takes about a year and a half to work that process. All right, as we go into number 8, as long as they do 1, 2, and 3, do all that infrastructure, we'll commit to split the water right with them. What we're telling them is, we're going to let you utilize 67.835 acre feet. That's what's going to be to your property. Nobody else can use it in the city, just them. And that's what they have. And that's what the most they can use. And we've kind of limited it. So we basically laid it out. And that really works out to about 60,000 gallons a day at about 42 gallons a minute over a 24-hour period. And that's what they're entitled to use once they meet their permits. Now, I'll go over 9 in a second because that's the clause that is going to answer the question, well, what if they go over what they cut off? This agreement will terminate in January 1 of 2044, meaning that we'll hold that 65 acre feet within their system. So once they get to 2044, whatever they have used at that time is what they get, and the rest goes back to the city. So if they use 20 acre feet, we get the remainder of the acre foot off their 65. It stays in the city, and the city has full use of it, and they no longer have a right to it. You can apply for an extension, and the council at that time could authorize that, but that would be up to the council at that point. Exeter. It's their water right, Exeter. So, and the reason we did that is because they wanted enough time. Their biggest concern was, well, I put a 5-year time frame on it first. We go, well, that's too quick. we don't want to just give the city all our water, you know how construction goes, and it may not have the development. So we put a date far enough out there to where that's just the best that we can do. And if you guys, like I said, if you want to extend it out, you can. Well, now the penalty's pretty extreme, so I'll go over that. We were thinking, if they were to exceed, let's say they built out their full development, and they decided we used 1 acre foot over what we were allowed. So instead of using 67, they used 68. They would have to cut the city a check for $326,000 for that 1 acre foot over. It's $1 per gallon of anything they go over. What the city's gonna do, which is what we do anyway, is we monitor their usage through the year, and we say, hey, you're heading toward going over your acre feet, and that gives them a chance to mitigate it and do an alternative. But if they go over that, that's the penalty. Now, Mr. Buzzard might be able to correct me. I did talk to Marissa to make sure that that's an enforceable penalty, or if we have to do anything extra. She kind of said, no, you can enforce that the way it's written. So I don't know. But that would be the big key, I think, if we had to take them to court on it. And I wanted to make it severe enough so they wouldn't use extra water. And I think that's pretty severe myself. Here's an example. Cardinal, they go over, they only pay $1. They pay 10 cents a gallon for anything they go over. And that's what anybody else in the city, and that's, they might just decide at that point, well, it's only 5,000 more, why not? And we can't have them do that. So that's the penalty section, and I think that's an adequate penalty myself. Anybody got any concerns about that? Okay, they can always ask us for more water if they want. And then we covered one more topic on 13. I thought to myself, well, what happens if they subdivide? Now, how do we enforce this contract? If they decide they want to subdivide or split up their property, they have to come back and enter into a new agreement. And these conditions of the 67.835 acre feet follow the property and will follow the individual users on that property. And they have to come and negotiate an amendment to this contract before they'll be allowed to subdivide. And so that's how we kind of handle that. And whether they do it or not, but if, you know, it would have been a nightmare to try to go after like Lowe's and say, well, now you owe $25,000. They might get mad about it. So, and I don't know that they'll do that, but it's definitely an option. And so in general, I think this covers the city as well. I think it protects their water right and gives us a mechanism for, you know, a penalty and if they subdivide. So I feel it's a pretty good contract considering. But I'm open to any feedback and another set of eyes. Mr. Buzz, you got anyone to throw out there? Huh? So that means it's perfect. But and so what'll happen is if you guys are okay with this, I will send it to Exeter. They'll sign it. They'll sign all of the attachments that are with it. They'll shoot it back, and then I want to get permission for the mayor to sign this contract, and this will go into effect. I'll oversee it to the degree that, you know, I'll make sure they comply with the terms and as we go through this process. So I know I went through that kind of quick, but I didn't know I really want to read it word for word.
No, it's fine. It's a good contract.
Yeah.
I wish the penalty was more.
Yeah, I think
the
that's
city's benefit. I mean,
because if I know Exeter, they're going to want to use the entire 67.835. They'll go right to the top, and which is fine. But they go over, it puts the city in a deficit because 5 months out of the year we have to use our water to compensate for it. That's why we split it so that we get equal amounts of water. So,
Is there any discussion or entertain a motion?
I'll make a motion to approve the send this to Exeter to sign.
and then I also want to have one more caveat. I want to get permission for the mayor to sign it when it comes after they come back and sign it, so that it can be implemented.
Make a motion for the mayor to sign when it comes back after Exeter signs.
Thank you. No, yeah, no.
Red lines.
Man,
on
I
it.
tell you what, I can't take another year of this.
I think the red lines have gone back and forth already. All in favor? Any opposed? Water
All right, that's
sewer
all I
Exeter agreement passes.
All right, thanks, guys.
Northwest Arden Avenue and Northwest Benton traffic flow proposal. And I heard you talking about this, Jeremy. Would you like to explain it to everybody?
Sure. Obviously, you can see up there on the map. So, right now, Arden Avenue, when we got our grant, we fought, a lot of us sat here and fought hard to get it the way it used to be. The telephone poles were in the way to actually have the sidewalks the correct width for ADA. So they had to eliminate parking on the eastern side of the road, and so that only allowed parking on one side. So in talkings in a couple meetings now, we've talked about doing a one-way down Arden so we can have parking on both sides, a one-way towards the school with a curve, and then across Northwest Benton Avenue to Washington, do a one-way in front of the school. So that way there'll only be traffic going one direction for the kids and everything. The buses line up there. And to me and the rest of the council, it seems like it's going to work really good. I hope enough for the public has seen this that's lived in the area. I don't know.
Robert just got it.
Okay, I don't know if this is something we should maybe send a flyer door to door to.
I think if we do this now and you guys approve this, vote to approve this, then we'll get an ordinance out for next time, changing the parking, and that gives them enough time. Do we need a public meeting on this?
I mean, this is just a proposal,
Right.
right?
So we need a public meeting for this?
I would love to. I would love the public's input. Like, I don't want to.
How much time do we need to get this? But how much time do we have to give for it?
Probably a month.
Oh,
To the 27th.
of July? On the council meeting, 22nd of July? Same time? Okay.
Do we have anything else going on that day? Real quick, because I know we've got another meeting.
In August.
It's August, okay.
My calendar is
It'll work. I'll set a public hearing, right, for July 27th at 6 p.m. Before the council meeting for the Northwest Arden Avenue and Northwest Benton traffic flow proposal. If we can get maybe flyers in their water bill or something.
We would have to do that this week, but we can do that.
Maybe something, even if it's just a piece of paper saying, hey, we're gonna teach you to the traffic flow out on. And that way they, hopefully people show up. I'd love their input.
So,
That's okay.
second for a public meeting, is that, sorry, there's a second on the table for a public meeting for the proposed one-way on July 27th before the council meeting for public input on one-way Arden and Benton. We have a first and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Ordinance 1200, bonding for city officials. Small and attractive items, policies and procedures. So council is going to see policies and procedures coming before you so that we are able to pass the accountability portion of our audit. And we'll be churning them through here. And this is so that every department lists every asset, the serial numbers, when they purchased them and when they are discarded or gotten rid of.
It was sent to Marissa, but
And we've had them,
easiest way to.
we've had them in the past. I found one from 2019, so
Yeah.
it
It's
was
nothing
done.
new, it's
Yeah.
just, is there a way, and I know, I wish Robert, or, hey, Monday, how do you guys mark your tools? Or you just,
we don't put a sticker on them. We just put them on our shelf and track them.
I'm wondering if there's a way to like get a punch or a Winlock punch or something that they can go, well, something that they can like,
Big guy step.
yeah, that has like some, our logo, so that way they can either burn it into the plastic or punch it, so that way it doesn't take them time and they're not out there trying to chicken scratch something.
We got about
So you're thinking of a different thing. You're thinking of loss prevention, and this is an this is
Right,
a
this
paper.
is us,
Yeah.
right, this is us marking it in the system, that way it's ours.
So we, right now, everything has stickers on it, and the stickers wear
Right.
off. on
That's
the
why I was,
tools
that's
in
why
the
my head
field.
instantly went to like a punch or like some easy way that they can mark it to identify and it's not easily gotten rid of.
An engraver would probably work, or.
It's just time consuming,
Time
yeah,
consuming,
you know,
yeah.
so. But no, this is great, it's something that is needed, I mean, there's so many little things sitting around that.
Yeah, and it's actually we're supposed to do it. So if you're okay with wording or you have changes in the wording,
And it did come from.
I'll make a motion to approve the small and attractive assets policy.
all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. City of Winlock, Washington, ordinance number 1200, an ordinance of the City of Winlock, Washington, enacting rules and regulations concerning bonds for city officials, fixing the amount of bond required for city officials, and providing for the payment of the cost thereof, repealing and replacing ordinance number 1194, and providing for the severability and establishing an effective date. And this replaces the bond from earlier in the year. More bond.
I'll make a motion to approve ordinance number 1200. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, Kelly Create. Our lease is up.
So the lease is up on our copier, and if we, yes, I think it's been 4 years.
It seems like we got it like 2 years ago.
So what this proposal does is we can roll the copier that's in the front office over to the police department, because the copier they have in the police department is obsolete. You can't get parts for it anymore, and it crinkles the paper as the paper goes through. This new copier, the way he set the lease up, we would have tiered printing costs, which makes it cheaper monthly.
Same one.
The one we have now is a Toshiba, and the one that this is set up for is a Kyocera.
So basically the same one. Same cost. Yeah. It all depends on how much we do. I'm fine with that. I know the police department needs something. I couldn't even tell you the last time that theirs was replaced, and the last one we replaced was Stony.
And currently the police department copier doesn't have color capabilities, so if we give them the old one, or the one that's in the front right now, they would have color capabilities.
And that's good, because they need it on something. So are we gonna, like, this is for review, so I don't.
It's the thing says for review, so if you wanna go with this, or if you want us to shop around.
I'm fine with them. I've been happy with them. They've done great work with us. You know, they've taken care of our out here. I have no problem with
You can make a motion for her.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. And this next one, I don't know if we need to vote on it, because we already had an ILA, and you put the work together, but I wanted you guys to see it. I heard, we haven't started it yet, so you said there should be something else on here?
Yeah, I mean, if we can add, there's a couple, because there's no stripes down Southeast First Street. We can look into that, and there's none over
The entire street has
front,
some stripes, but if you could
southwest
stripe,
front, but the
if you
corners, the worst.
if you could stripe the corner of Southwest Pining to where it meets Southwest Front, it would be awesome, because I don't know how many times I've almost been in the head on for people cutting that corner.
And, is it Southwest Pinewood?
No, it's
Southeast
Southeast
First.
First.
Oh, Southeast.
There's a huge chunk of it that I think demonstrates it all, it's like.
Okay, I'll ask Kenny put the list together.
Are we going to use our pass-through funds?
Yes, this is the pass-through funds, and so we're also seeing if there's other work they can do for us, so this is a good time to ask this. Okay,
I think once they get the dollar amount or whatever,
There's an estimated amount.
yeah, okay. See if they'll get the other end, and they can go ahead and do it. I guess we can approve for them to do it.
I think I already approved it because I thought it was all okay, I just wanted you guys to see it.
There's an ILA, I just don't,
Yeah.
we just have to make sure that we approve where the money's coming out of.
It's from the Lewis County
Right.
pass-through.
Yeah, I think we just have to approve that, hey, yeah, go ahead and use that money, use for whatever.
Should we do that for the vouchers though too? Like, when we go to pay it, or is that?
We won't be paying.
Yeah, it comes out of the fund that they already have,
Okay,
so.
so I'm sorry.
Yeah, because they have money set aside for us, but we like to say you have the ILA, so. Just wanna make sure we're doing the ILA.
We're gonna entertain a motion.
Doing that,
I can ask to add, but they're a coming, so I gotta.
go ahead
Yeah.
and do this, and then we can do a change order if they do the extra work. So I'll make a motion to approve the, Lewis County reimbursable work for the traffic striping.
I'll try to get it to you. All approved? All in favor? Any opposed? Motion carries. Time tracking service, home base. This is again, trying to meet our SAO requirements for accountability. Any discussion?
So I did ask another city clerk what they use, and they recommended this option. It is, like, if we were to go with the ADP also offers this, but this is kind of like a bridge in the meantime. We did switch all of our timesheets to Excel. Everybody's filling them out in Excel, which is helpful. It auto adds, but this would just be one more layer of verification for everything. And then less opportunity, because you're clocking in and out, less opportunity for human error.
This is a swipe on your phone. And also, when we do a special project like the hostel, or 456, or anything else, those times will be tracked. Not everything, you just log in and log out, but if there's a special circumstance, you need to be able to track it.
Well, because we have to bill it for certain time.
If you have other suggestions, we're open to other suggestions, but this is one that seems to meet all of the needs that we currently
So it's $24
have a month.
a month per person, or?
No,
Just,
just, with that $24 a month, it's unlimited employees.
so give it a shot, like, what's, I mean, it's $24, what's it gonna hurt, like,
So what's the accountability? way you keep track of it all the time?
So what we would do is you would, like, for the previous week, I would print out a report Monday, or whoever the treasurer is would print out a report Monday. It would be given to the supervisors and employees to verify. And so then each month, there would be like 4 or 5 timesheets that all add up together. And then that way we could track, like, hey, this was sick time, I took comp time. I think compared to the actual timesheet. And I will say, in full disclosure, this hasn't been very popular from the department heads, but I think that it's a necessary step in making things smoother and easier for the office side of things.
Again, I'm gonna say auditability compliance. That, comes down to being able to answer those time tracking questions.
I'll make a motion to approve the time tracking service Monday.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. City of Winlock, Washington, resolution number 2026-08, a resolution of the City of Winlock, Washington, declaring personal property of the City of Winlock to be surplus and of no further use to the city. We have discussion.
We need decision on the amount that can be given, and if so, are we looking at permit?
That's different. This is the other.
Oh, this is the other.
That's gonna be a resolution. That's gonna be an ordinance.
We're going to make an ordinance so that when we have surplus issues, we have it all encompassed ahead of time.
I make a motion to approve resolution 2026-08 surplus city field road.
Second.
We have motion, a second, and abstention.
I was seconding also.
Oh, seconding.
Same time.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Guido Beanie, site address 491 Byham Road, Unit A.
Full council. Thanks for having me again.
Want to use my focus with the air conditioner?
Check one. Good evening, council. Thanks for having me again. Previously, I spoke 3 times regarding the issue of city water sewer line, that we're still in the process of gathering information, get an opportunity to visit the water plant, sewer plant, this last Saturday. And never had a chance to do that. All due respect to others. We've got a slurry of all the stuff that comes in through the sewer and through all that, but it is interesting to see it come through and see how it's treated. One thing I was impressed about it was there was no smell. Nothing indicated that it was being run properly. So that was good. This evening, address 491 Byham Road is the subject for the water bill and all of our bills should be going. When I saw it tonight on the agenda, the first time I've ever seen it presented properly. In other words, it's the same address that our property management company gave my wife and I over a year and a half ago. During the last 2 weeks, we've made multiple public records requests. And of those requests, we've had not one that mapped exactly as the record. In fact, the application for water sewer service, we have to provide a copy of our lease agreement that had the address 491 Bayham Road, Unit. In the application, it was not in my handwriting. We had a copy of it to inspect certain public records that we had requested. Last Thursday, we met in this room. We had items that showed up as part of a sync file on that screen right there. Somewhere where we're providing to us available to see. From that meeting, I requested everything on that sync file. There were 112 pages that we still had to review. And with the review of those pages, now look, I'm not trying to be persuasive, I'm not trying to get anybody in trouble. I'm just trying to give you information so that you can make the best decisions, the right decisions possible in your administrative roles. The site address for the certificate of occupancy, 491 Bayham Road, Units A and B, Winlock, Washington. Now some of you may be thinking, well, that's probably the case. What's this problem? Well, there are two addresses in Bayham Road, 491 Bayham Road. 491 Bayham Road, Unit A, and 491 Bayham Road, excuse me, Unit B. These are conflated into the same address. So, when we met here last, Thursday, June 11th, we had an opportunity to meet with the Community Development Planning, this is titled, Robert Webster. Mayor Merrington, you have to consider it absolutely lovely. During that meeting, when we inspected the documents that were provided, the application for construction and development of the parcels associated with 491 Bayham Road, we were given copies of the permit for the water and for the sewer, and included also the hookup process. What was missing was the master permit plan that included a list of applications, list of permit applications that were not included, which most important, one of the most important ones was for the electrical building. In your packet or in the information that you were given, were approximately 17 pages. These are part of the records that we had received on June 11th. Remembered at the bottom. Number 1, site sewer permit application. Site address, 491 Bayham Road, Unit B. That's the first time I'd seen that in writing. On the back, it was double printed and both front and back. Fee amount was $6,000. That was for the site sewer. Then there was a water tap that was on May 28th, 2024. On May 23rd, 2024, there was a tap into the, excuse me, I had that next to sewer permit. This one was for the water tap. And why was providing these numbers get included. The amount on that was $12,000. So I was confused about the prices for both of those. It looks like, again, another conflation, but this caused me to request another public records request for the site address notification. What I received was site address application. The application address 491 Unit A and B, Bayham Road, Winlock, Washington. Looks like it came back from the U.S. Postal Service. I don't know, it just says for official use only. that was dated 4/10/2025, approximately 4 months after we had moved in. During that time, we had difficulty getting mail. We didn't get mail delivered until approximately the 1st of February of 2024, or excuse me, 2025. We moved in December of 2024. The problem with all this is that when you're given information and you'd like to see some consistency with it, or there's an utter lack of it, it's almost as if it's the opposite. Where information is kind of just put out there and it's like, well, good luck figuring it out. And so, with that, sorry about this mic and go over here. One second. Now, let me just summarize this real quick here and I'll finish up. There are no less than 12 different addresses associated with 191. The address is being conflated with parcel with an address on King Road. It provides, it has significant problems with least of which is public safety for us. If you can't get 911 address correct, then, you know, what if we were in an emergency situation? So I think that you all can probably understand the importance of that. On June 15th, which is the following Monday, we went to the Lewis County Auditor's Office looking for land records. Lewis County Community Development Permit Center we were then referred to. We spoke with a woman by the name of Molly Hurt, Community Development Permit Technician 3. Said there was nothing built on that property. The address that she pulled up was 491 A Byham Road, as if A Byham was the name of the road. No structures. There are actually four new ones. No structures are showing on the map. It's approximately right here. Here's Byham Road. Right in here. Of course, you don't see structures on that plat now. Notice was completed in April 2022. It does have a was that code of MDR? Moderate density residential.
You know, what's the point of all this? Where did that come from?
The point of all this is that, you know, without having an address that was correct from the beginning, all this is we're trying to make us happy. We want you to make us happy. We like to have the correct address. But when you yourself, Mayor, went to the postal service, to the post office, and asked for the postmaster for assistance, and she wasn't there, but found out that we couldn't make that application. That application had to be done before the structure was built.
So the biggest thing I see, I work at the post office, so that's why I shop at the the way I see it is the way, and you guys will understand in a second, it's the way your billing softwares all line up. They're all slightly different. And so when you enter in an address, your address, and it will come up, hey, I want to enter in address, and then it will say unit, and then whatever, or apartment, whatever, unit/apartment. If you don't specify unit A, and you just put A in there because you read unit, it's not going to put unit on there, it'll just put the A on there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I do, and if we're oversimplifying it, because that's not the problem. The problem is that there have been no less than actually 15 different addresses associated with the site that we're living in. We should have never had this problem to begin with. If we're not getting mail, we're getting mail that's getting routed through.
I'm agree with Councilor Allen, I'm having a hard time following that.
problem is that we've had issues with getting our mail.
That's post office, not us.
No, it is you. Who approved the permit?
So we do not grant addresses. You know this because you've done research, and the mayor, as you said, tried to help you and go to the post office to figure it out. The county with the post office, they assign the addresses. What you said you got through a public record was a request. That's the city. And then the notice you said you didn't get. Well, that comes from someplace else. The electrical, you said it's inconsistent and you wish it was consistent. We don't do electrical. That's not the city.
No, but it has to
I'm
go
not
to the
sure
site.
what you're getting at here, besides all of the complaints and put downs to the administration here about you wish that there would be consistency and someone would explain this stuff to you. It sounds like everybody's been bending over backwards to explain this.
No, that's not correct.
Okay, and the
No.
other thing, that everything you've said so far, I don't think we have standing for any of this. I mean, be talking to the owner of the property, they're the ones that need to address these concerns with the county, the post office, or whoever it is that is out there.
No, everyone's kicking the ball, kicking the can down the road. But
Okay, I'm sorry. I just can't even, I can't take what you gave us seriously. I literally, thank goodness, thank you for the computer. I literally went to Lewis County Pat's map, and it shows under the parcel number that you listed in the 17 pages you gave us, it shows 491A Bynum Road, 491B Bynum Road. It's all right here, and that is Lewis County. So, I would put the parcel number here. So
thank you for doing that, by the way.
that document doesn't support the document you gave
No,
us, and
thank
this is
you.
the county too.
That's my point right there. If you look at the agenda for this evening,
The county looks at that.
But this is the county, you need to go to Lewis County.
yeah, we did.
Okay,
They don't have the permit. But that's just one example of the wrong address.
but what do you,
Well, okay, I'm gonna ask this question. Why do you think it's the wrong address?
Well, the address we got on our lease agreement was 491 Bynum Road, Unit A.
Was the address assigned to that property before or after the owners rented the property to you? Could it be that the lease agreement's wrong?
It could be, but why is it after the property being rented? Shouldn't you have the correct address before you even have a certificate of occupancy?
Don't know the answer to that. That's something we need to go to the owners to. You know, if they're drafting the lease wrong. I don't know the answer to that one.
Okay. You know what? Okay. We will come back another day. I'm sorry, hold on a second.
Just the fact that the postal address doesn't accept those addresses, it's the postal, and it is a postal issue, and we've been to the post office no less than
And I think I heard you say
20
that the mayor
times.
went with you there.
No, she went there.
Required, trying to assist you with this. and
No,
you
she
were
went there- she went there
told-
herself on her own
Please
accord.
interrupt me, I didn't interrupt you.
What?
The mayor went to the post office to inquire about this, as the mayor, and trying to do something good for a resident, she was requested, and the post office just told her that the owner needs to do this. So that's the answer.
Yeah, we were to do that. I already told you prior to.
And that's the answer to what
Going
you've been telling us so far. Go to the owner.
Okay.
yeah, this is a property owner issue, not a city.
Well, who issues the address?
The county.
Not in the city of Winlock. City of Winlock issues the
I
address.
know,
to the
but
county.
the city of Winlock does not.
That is why do they have the wrong address?
That's the county.
Yeah.
All development in the county, anywhere, if it's in the county, if it's in a city, development takes place, at some point they apply to the county. The county works with the United States Post Office to assign address numbers. It's not the cities that do it. We have no control over that.
And the assigned address number was an illegitimate number from the record that we received.
I don't know the answer to that, but that's what they assign, that's what they assign.
All right.
The city doesn't have any stake in going to war with the county or the post office to change an address number. The city accepts whatever the post office and the county gives.
But shouldn't it be at the,
There's a lot of people that help you out.
but shouldn't that be at the time and submit a master application?
It goes-
Or even ground?
But it is through the county. Lewis County, yeah, Lewis County Community Development is something.
We'll be told something different by moment.
Well, I can, we will discuss this more too, but I can tell you that when I just short platted my property and stuff, the very last thing I did. When I started to campaign and run for mayor, I did not even have an address, no address at all. Had to wait for it, and that was outside the city. So,
It kind of seems like that too.
You
But it's still
literally
wrong.
you literally go to Lewis County, Lewis County parcel search, put
Been
in
there.
your parcel number.
Familiar with it.
Know the answer to
I've got an USPS. Yeah, and that's still wrong. That's the illegitimate mailing address. I'm telling you right now. Thank you.
all right. We're going to break for an executive session. RCW 42.30.110C to consider the minimum price at which real estate will be offered for sale or lease when public knowledge regarding such consideration would cause a likelihood of decreased price. It is 7:27, I think 15 minutes.